Good evening, everybody. Thank you very much for the support over the past week leading into UFC Hamburg. Fight of the night tonight was Zawada and Roberts. Performance bonuses go to Bermudez and Smith. The gate tonight was $750,000 US, and the attendance was 7,798. Any questions? All right. Yes, sir.
What did you make of the crowd tonight? Obviously, you guys were here 2 years ago,
Yep.
but when you compare kind of, the attendance and the gate, like how happy are you, I guess, with tonight's event?
So I thought, crowd was in early. I think in the second fight we had probably 80% or 85% of the total capacity, which was great. Crowd seemed very educated, very into it, very excited for us to be here. So we were thrilled. It was nice. It was a good, energetic crowd, even with all the 10 or 9 straight decisions. So we were very happy.
Obviously, the lead up to the event wasn't perfect. There were so many injuries and so many fights being cancelled left, right, and centre. How is that, I guess, for you guys dealing with? Was there ever any thought of perhaps cancelling the event, as some people were kind of suggesting?
No, it never crossed our mind.
Rumours of another fight card going down in Copenhagen in this region later this year. Is that true, and B, is that going to happen?
We've got one more event on the schedule for the EMEA region, and that's going to be in Moscow on September 15th, which we're all very excited for. Yes, sir.
Yes. Perhaps due to injuries and other such things, there was a noticeable lack of, for example, fan events. Certain fans asked us about, if there was stuff going on. Any particular reason for that, and is that sort of a sign of what's to come for some of the European events?
No, not by any stretch. I mean, we've been sitting. We've got a few of our Russian colleagues today, and we're looking ahead to Moscow and planning a whole variety of things. I don't think it's a reflection on anything in particular, just sort of a matter of circumstance. So we were very pleased with the attendance tonight. Very pleased with support. I mean, we had the media crew was extensive, and you guys covered our event very well this week, and we're very appreciative for that.
Well, thank you. Sweden has so far been a kind of a staple of the future European events. Is that something we can continue to expect?
Sweden, do you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've got a variety of kind of key tier 1 markets, but it's also part of our business plan to make sure we're getting to as many countries in the region as possible, which is one of the reasons why we've made this investment in the Russia business. But we'll continue to go back to the UK. I mean, London's obviously a marquee market for us. We will also keep working hard on regulation in France, and we'll continue to look to another number of markets that we haven't been. In Croatia, Spain. There's a few of them that we could end up hitting in the next couple of years.
Okay, and just final question: any idea of some kind of estimate of how many European events we can expect next year?
I mean, we are going to target kind of the 5 to 7 range of events. Okay. If you've been following some of the details around the new US TV deal with ESPN, our output's going to go to 42 total events next year. Mm-hmm. And so if you assume that we are going to maintain some kind of constant level in the US, that gives us the ability to add 2 or 3 events to different regions around the world. And I think the EMEA region's always proven to be very, very successful, huge fan base. Our events have been great. So we might be adding one here. Maybe we've got making a big investment into China. The Australian business has never been as good as it is now. So we've got a few possibilities.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem.
Alex, German Fight News. One question regarding this deal between UFC and M-1 Global in Russia. I mean, in the past, there was some problems between both companies in history with Fader. Can you tell us something more about the deal, how the things will develop?
I mean, as for commenting on what happened in the past, I mean, I think first of all, I don't know many of the details. They're a long time ago. We have identified a few key regions globally, and I've just mentioned two of them. I mean, China and Russia. And for us, if you think about the number of athletes that we've got from Russia and the CIS, it's really third to the U.S. and Brazil. And so there's a huge opportunity for us. There's obviously a very rich tradition in several martial art disciplines, as well as MMA, in Russia and the CIS. So it's something that we will continue to invest in. We will likely have 2 events next year. So we've got the one, in September this year, and through 2020 to 21, 22, we'll have at least 1 or 2 events in Russia. So in order to be successful and to have a flourishing business, you've got to have key partnerships. And so for us, it was important to, be able to establish key, sponsorships, some content relationships. That's the number one pillar of our sport. So, we're required to have, we thought it was the best part of our strategy to have some key partnerships in the region, just to make sure that things, went swimmingly.
Thank you.
No problem. Yes, sir. How are you?
I'm doing great, thanks.
Good.
We've had 5 German fighters on the card tonight, and obviously not everyone won, but we had 2 impressive victories, and the
some good
losses
performances
were really close or rather close. So what did you make of these performances, and will get the guys who lost, will they get another chance in the UFC?
As for future opportunities, that's not for me to decide, but I can tell you from my perspective, and what was clear within the crowd was the performances of Nasrat and Abu were unbelievable. Those guys look really good, really sharp, a lot of output, like a lot of action, I think they represented not only Hamburg very well, but the country of Germany.
And if you had a partnership like Bill Plus who were covering the fights, so in terms of the development of the sport and the brand in Germany, what do you think this event is going to do for the development of MMA and the UFC in Germany?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's nice to have, a pretty deep roster of talent that you can look at, so that when you come to a market, you've got an opportunity to showcase new guys. I mean, this is, men and women, this is what it's all about. I mean, we're on a constant, dedicated approach to finding new, exciting talent that can one day be, a star in the UFC. And, we're fortunate enough to have 3 debutantes tonight, and to see, Nasrat, who's had a couple fights already, or 1 fight already, but Abu as well. It gives us a lot of optimism.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks very much, everybody. Have a good night.